If you're building a mini four-wheel drive without these tools, you are making it harder than it needs to be. Whether you're building your first, or you've already got a few mini four-wheel drive cars under your belt, the right tools make a difference. Today, I'm going to be breaking down the essential tools I actually use on every Tamiya mini four-wheel drive build. No fluff, no expensive extras, just what works. And if you like these videos or anything Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive, please like and subscribe, and let's get into it. First off, the most important tool is going to be a screwdriver. If you buy one of the advanced packs, they usually come with one of these little screwdrivers. These are magnetic. They do work pretty well, but they're very short and it's going to cramp your hand. A longer screwdriver works well. I used this one for a long time. I tried to use it in videos just to show that it's possible, but this one is not magnetic, and that makes it much more difficult when you're trying to get these little screws into place and you're holding it with this hand. You're trying to screw it in with this hand and it's falling all over the place. That's where we come with just a regular magnetic screwdriver. So this is the official Tamiya one, and this head is interchangeable, which is nice. It also pivots, which is very helpful as well, and it is also magnetic. Something you can get on the side, you don't need it, is a magnetizer. So this thing, you just stick it in here and then it becomes more magnetic, I guess. But like with most Tamiya parts, this is 100% worth the money. It's a little more expensive than just your typical dollar store screwdriver, but it does save your hand quite a bit of grief. And the screwdriver is the only part that you absolutely need to build a stock car. So something like this, you need a screwdriver. You don't need, per se, other tools. Next up, we have nippers or side cutters, whatever you want to call them. These two are from the dollar store, basically. Smaller one, bigger one. You can buy them in a pinch. They work to cut the runners for the pieces, like these. They do cut. That's about it. If you want a little smoother cut, you can get something like this. And I think I got these on Temu. Good luck for you Americans, even though I'm American, but I live in Japan. These were about $3, I think. So yeah, pretty good deal. Normal piece of pliers or cutters like these will probably run you about, I would say, $10 for a decent pair, because these are actually pretty good. The quality isn't amazing. You can see how it's already fading. There's a little bit of coloration, a little patina to the metal. It came broken, the cap did. So as much as Temu has some things that are okay, the quality is always questionable. And then we have a little bit more of a premium style. So these are the God hands. To be more specific, the God Hand GH PNS 135. They work really good. This comes separately in these ones. If you get the, the SPN 120, I think this leather case comes with it, but it is only about $3. These are just good, really, really, really overall good side cutters. So these can be used for pretty much anything from these cars to plastic models like Gundam or something like that too. But most people will use these for the thicker parts of the runners and then go in with the SPN 120s. So these are our dollar store. This is the, I don't know, I'd say about $5 to $10 style side cutters. And then we have these, which were about, I think, $20 to $30, somewhere around that area. So really quick, I'll give a little demonstration of the difference. It's not huge, but that takes a lot more force. These ones are a little bigger and a little wider, but still quite dull. You can really hear that snap when it gets through. And the cut is also not quite as clean. These ones are the Tamiya ones. You can hear how smooth, soft that is. So for the price, these were an extremely good value in my opinion. Get that out of there. And then lastly, we have the God hands. These are very, very smooth, and they'll give you a very nice straight cut. Whereas the Tamiya ones, you can see it's got a little, I don't know if you can see that, a little bit more of a tip as opposed to a very clean cut. So yeah, those are the nippers. Personally, if you have the money, I would invest in something a little more substantial. Might not need to go this far, but definitely would recommend putting just a few more dollars in, and you get a way better product. Next up, it is actually something everyone who wants to do mini four-wheel drive needs, and that is batteries. So you'll need AA batteries, but I would highly recommend getting rechargeable batteries. You don't have to get the Tamiya, these Neo Champs, these rechargeable ones. They are quite nice. They charge pretty quickly. They work really well. I think it's a pretty decent investment, but you can also get something that is more comparable for a cheaper price. Something like Samsung or Panasonic or something like that. There's not, I don't know, like Philips, something like that. I don't know. Either way, rechargeable batteries are a necessity if you're going to be using these for a longer period of time. Most people don't use rechargeable batteries for actual races though. Next up, something that's just handy to have is tweezers. They got these little flimsy ones. Try to get something with a little more rigidity to them. It's really nice just to have, because when you're trying to, like, if I'm trying to dig that out with my sausage hands or sausage fingers, it's going to be quite difficult, but it's going to be much easier if I have these little tweezers to pull them out. And the reason you want something that's a little more sturdy is these can actually bend, and you don't really feel like you got a good hold on them. So some rigid tweezers, those are something you could also get at like the dollar store. Pliers are good to have. These are my old fishing pliers, that's why they're all rusted, but not essential. Next up, something you would probably want to invest in is a hex nut screwdriver. So this one actually is the one that's interchangeable here. And you can use this for these hex nuts. See if I can get one out. These hex nuts. But if you got the screwdriver, this comes in a set. One thing that I've found, and I also got this on Temu, but you can get them on Amazon or whatever. I think I paid about $3 for it, and this is a godsend. So you can just take it, and it's a lock nut, and it screws on. You got this for the grip. It works great, and you can get it all the way down into the shaft. If you have a long screw or something, you're trying to screw it all the way down, it is extremely helpful. I do recommend having one of these. Next up is scissors. These are pretty much just to get the stuff out of the plastic. Again, you don't need them, but the plastic can be a little bit annoying. You can also use scissors or an X-Acto knife for cutting out the pieces from the runners. The first time I ever built one of these cars for my son, which was actually this one, I didn't have side cutters available, and I did it with an X-Acto knife and a screwdriver. It was that yellow screwdriver I just showed you, and probably a combination of scissors as well. Another thing, you can use anything for this, is you're going to want to have a little tray of some sorts to put your parts in. There are a lot of small parts. If you have something that's magnetic, that's just a bonus, because it will keep things like screws in place so they don't roll around. It happens a lot where you're trying to look for something that rolls underneath something and you can't find it. So it's just handy to have it around. Another thing is a mat like this. These silicone mats, they're basically, for most of them sell as smartphone like parts replacement mats or something like that. Some of them, in these little grooves, they have magnetic spots to them. This one doesn't. It's easy to see where everything is, and you can separate your parts into different categories. So it is nice, but again, I never use it. Another thing that's a pretty small investment is this oil applicator. This lasts a very long time. It's cheap. I think it was around 500 yen, which is maybe $5 if you buy it in the States. And you can use that instead of these little grease tubes. But these grease tubes do come with every kit. And also, if you have it, some super glue does help a lot, actually. When I was cutting out this one, actually, this part right here, I didn't know it was part of the car. I didn't really look very carefully, and I actually clipped it off here and here, and all I did was take some super glue and put it back on. Super glue is perfectly legal for like any of the races, so yeah, don't be afraid to use a little bit of super glue. Another thing is a drill, a hand drill. This is something, again, that's a little more advanced. This was probably about, I think I paid 2,600 yen for it. And then you can use these different bits to make holes and whatever, but this is definitely not essential, and you won't use this till much later. I actually have a video building this if you want to check that out. Another thing you can use is sandpaper or a file. This one's fallen out. If you want to get the little nubs off of where you cut the plastic from the runners, then you can do that. Again, you can use an X-Acto knife or something like that as well, but it's not really needed because it doesn't make a huge difference. It's more of like an aesthetic thing for most cars. Okay, so those are all of the tools that I use quite regularly, even the drill, just to countersink things to make them flush. I use the drill quite a bit for mostly the countersinking, but all of these other things I use on a very, very regular basis. So let's separate the stuff that we use versus stuff that we need. And here we go. Just these 4 things. This, it could be a piece of a cup that you cut out. Nippers, you do need nippers. You do need a screwdriver. I highly suggest getting a decent quality one if you're going to use a screwdriver. The swivel makes this way easier. You don't need it, but the magnetic part, I think, is almost non-negotiable. And then nippers, again, you don't need nice ones, but it does make your life a lot easier. rechargeable batteries. These are gonna save you money in the long run. And if you're wondering why I omitted this after giving it such hype, you don't technically need it, because if you have parts with the screws or the hex nuts, you're going to get one of these with it. So for example, we have these side mass dampers. What's that right in there? The wrench. All right, so that's it for our essentials. We need a decent pair of nippers or side cutters, a screwdriver, batteries, and a little tray. Highly recommended, but optional, is a wrench for your nuts, tweezers, especially if you got sausage fingers like me. And I'm pretty sure everyone has a pair of scissors lying around. And then if you want to really put a little bit more money into it, some oil, lubricant. I didn't mention that, but it is something that's good to have around. Pliers are also good. I use them very, very sparingly, but most people have pliers in their house as well. And then a hand drill. So now that you know the essentials that you will be needing to build a mini four-wheel drive car, in the next video what I'm going to do is get a box stock build, and I'm going to go through every step of the way going through it. I think one thing that some people have, I'll probably repeat this in the next video, one thing that some people don't do quite as well is look at a picture and figure out how to do it. Some people would prefer to have a video, some people prefer to have it in writing, so I will do the video portion of that. If you have any suggestions for a car to build, I'm free to hear those. If not, I'm just going to go to the store, pick one I think looks cool, because at the end of the day, that's the most important part. So everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.